Is this working?
No.
I guess not.
I guess it is now.
Anyway, hi, welcome to the Ben Diskin Q&A panel. I'm standing way up here for no reason.
Because you're special.
This is overkill. How are you guys?
Good.
Yay. So here's how I'm gonna figure out how to make this work. So we've got 45 minutes in here.
Whoop.
That means how many people, just show of hands, have something for me to sign?
Uh,
Okay, most of you here. Cool. Yeah, now it's working.
I guess a brochure.
It wasn't on. Is this necessary, or could you guys hear me without this, by the way?
With it on. It sounds better with it on.
With it on, cool. Let's cut this thing right in half, okay? I say we do about. Thank you. I say we do about. How are you? Let's do this. Let's do about 25 minutes of Q&A, and then we'll have 20 minutes left over for signing stuff, and that way we don't get in trouble. Sound good?
Yep.
Alrighty. So I'm actually going to give you guys this microphone so that in case you need to talk into it, it's down there. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I'll just keep talking to you guys like this. You're gonna come on up, form a simple line. You can ask me basically any question you want. I'm an open book. I have no shame. Ask me anything you wish. This is not an 18+ panel.
I'll say not
So
inappropriate.
yes, so nothing inappropriate. Anything you wish that you would say in front of children. Fair enough. We'll do this thing. I'm a voice actor. I've been doing this since I was like about 6 years old. I've been in original animation, stuff like Hey Arnold and Codename Kids Next Door. I've done a lot of anime as of late, a bunch of video games. So if you got any questions, come on up and ask them. Who's got questions? Alrighty. Okay. There you go.
Do you draw like Psy?
I am a horrible artist. No, I do not draw like Psy at all. If I could, I would be ecstatic. Especially if they came to life. That would be awesome.
Okay.
Hop right into it.
Okay.
Eat that mic.
Okay. I got two things. One. What is one of your best like roles that you've had like throughout whether it be anime or regular cartoons,
Okay.
and how did you get into voice acting?
Well, let's see. I'd say probably the biggest role I've had is still probably Codename Kids Next Door. For me, it was playing number 1 and 2 in that was my introduction to working with some of the best in the business in terms of animation. Literally every single person, thank you. Literally, oh, that is loud. Literally every single person I got to work with on Codename Kids Next Door was somebody who was like my childhood voiceover hero. Like I got to work with Grace Summer, of course. She was, Elmira from Tiny Toons, Penny from Inspector Gadget. So it was like all this stuff that I grew up with. And I'm like, oh, you're in the same room with me. The guest stars would come in and be like, oh, it's Frank Welker, like legend in the voiceover industry. He's just here to play my dad. It was amazing. So that was probably for me like my biggest thing. It changed my life really. It was exciting. It was a show that nobody expected anything to happen with, and it wound up becoming at the time one of the biggest shows on Cartoon Network. And I would say probably how I got into voice acting. I technically have been in the voiceover industry since I was 6. But if you really want to get specific, the acting industry since before I was born. My parents are both we're both actors, and their agent when my mom was pregnant with me said, "Hey, can we represent your son when he comes out?" She said, "Sure." So they signed a contract with him before I was actually born. So I've been doing this since forever. So 6 was sort of like my agent said, "Hey, kid, you can speak into a microphone. You have a good voice. You're an actor. Say these words." I didn't know how to read yet, so I was like, okay. So I would just parrot back whatever was asked, and that's how I got into this. It's just sort of been a thing that I've been doing my whole life, and yeah, that's how I did it.
Awesome.
Could you do your number 1 versus Joseph Joestar voice?
number one versus Joseph Joestar voice.
Yeah.
So number one is basically, it was my voice back when I was approximately 19 years old, with a little British accent that I whipped together, and I'll be perfectly honest, it's a terrible accent, and I'm not proud of it. Every time I speak to anybody from the UK, I apologize profusely, because I'm like, I know you don't all sound like this, I'm so sorry. And
Joseph Joestar is basically number one, simply grown up. He's a bit older, and he's of course more muscular, so he has to have a bit beefier of a voice quality to him. But it's the same idea, just a lot more cockier and brutal with the way he speaks. And that's basically my number one versus the Joseph.
Thanks, man.
Sure thing.
How did you get introduced to the Kingdom Hearts series? Because I know you played young Xehanort.
I was introduced to them by playing them when they
Oh, so
came
you're
out.
a Kingdom Hearts fan.
I am a Kingdom Hearts player. I like the games, but like I wouldn't call myself a fan, because if you ask me some really complicated question, I'm gonna be like, I don't know. But like my girlfriend is like a massive Kingdom Hearts fan. That's actually how we met, and she has gotten me back into it. So now the games that I haven't played before, we're watching playthroughs of, and so I'm getting like all finally caught up, so that I can at last play Dream Drop Distance and know what the is going on, because for those of you guys who have not played Kingdom Hearts, it is one of the most bafflingly confusing, convoluted stories in video game history. It's amazing, they're great games, but oh my gosh, it makes no sense at times.
And quick question, do you ever find it weird hearing your voice coming out of your characters? Like knowing it's you?
I used to find that extremely weird. Yeah, it like unsettled me. I'm more used to it. I'm just kind of like, right, that's how I sound. All right, okay, cool. But as a kid, that was horribly awkward. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You probably get this question like a lot, and I know you've done like a lot of characters, but have you ever like had a character that like you voiced and kind of related yourself to like the character?
I kind of relate to all of the characters I play. When you're an actor, the whole goal is to try to figure out how to put a piece of yourself into the different characters that you play, so that they come from a place that's real. So, like right now, I'm playing a character. His name is Satoru Fujinuma. He's on a show called Erased, and this character is he's 29 and he feels like a failure. He feels like his life is going nowhere, and it's like right now I'm doing okay with my life. Everything's going fine with me. I'm not depressed. I don't feel bad, but I have to go. Okay, what was it like? I felt that way before, so. I relate to him, even though right now things are going well. It's kind of like, okay, I remember back in the day when I was like early teens, and I was like, I am going to die alone. Nobody likes me. Nothing I do is good enough, and everything sucks. And I'm like, oh, I can remember that and relate to him in that way. So the hardest thing for me is the characters that I'm naturally not. Number one from Kids Next Door is a natural born leader. That's not me. Like standing up here talking to you guys, this is weird for me. I don't stand around like let me give you some advice. Sit down, let me talk to you. That's not me. But like that character has to be able to just get out there and lead and command. And so that was a learning experience of how do you sound like an authoritative person and just put yourself out there when you're not naturally that kind of guy. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Did you enjoy playing Char from Gundam the Origin? Char Asimov?
Char Asimov was like, I say like yes, and then people are like, you're Char? And I'm like, no. I'm the real Char, as in like the dude who gets like whacked like early on.
I'm like, I know you're not the actual Char.
Oh, okay, cool. But like, yeah, no, I like, Char was really cool. It was just sort of like a random like dude that they had me play. But my favorite part about that was like, he starts off as this really like good dude who you feel like he's like stands by his convictions, but then they're like, listen, we gotta kill him. So, can you kind of play him like a little bit annoying? Like just like for the second part, just be like, yeah, I'm Char. So that when he dies, you're kind of like, okay, good, yeah, get rid of that guy. So it was like fun to kind of have like a random shift in character, but hopefully it played well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hello.
Hey.
So my question is, what got you into like doing voices of anime?
I've always wanted to do anime. As a kid, like Dragon Ball Z was the I was about to say SHIT. Anyway, no, it was great. And it was that thing I was like, I want to do that thing on that show where the guys just yell for like eternity. That sounds freaking awesome. But I was a kid. I didn't understand this was being produced in Canada, and like I don't live in Canada, and therefore can never be on this show. So when I was, I think it was 2008. So this was like about 8 years ago. I got an audition through my agency for an anime, which never happens because most of this stuff is done non-union. Most of it's done very low budget, so the big agencies don't bother with it. And they were like warning, like, listen, this doesn't pay well, but it's this little show called Blood Plus. And I'm like, it's an anime. I desperately want to do this. And so I auditioned for it, and I'd never done any dubbing project before in my life. I'd never done anything where you have to like match mouth flaps, and I booked it. And so I showed up, and they're like, okay, so here it is. And so I learned how to do anime just on that show. The sound engineer, his name is, why am I drawing a blank? Dave. David was like, okay, so here's how it works. We need you to come in where the fourth beep would be, because there's going to be 3 beeps. Boop, boop, boop. And then you talk. And so I didn't know that because I was kind of coming in on the 3rd beep. And so he was like joking with me, like, no, the 4th beep, where that would be, buddy. And I'm like, oh, thank you for teaching me how to do this, because I have no idea how this works. And so like by like episode 5, they were like, so what other stuff have you done? I'm like, oh, I haven't done anything besides this. Like, oh! So we just hired some dude who's never done this before to play a main character in this show. Oh, okay. Well, good to know that worked out. But yeah, and so anyway, because of that, it put me in with Studiopolis, who also does, Naruto and Bleach and all of these other shows, and they were like, you don't suck at this. Come on in. We'll have you audition for some other stuff. And so that's how it led to various jobs in anime. That's how I got into it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
Okay, quick question. With the upcoming Hey Arnold movie, what are your thoughts on that? Like, is that something that they'd asked you, would you want to have been involved with?
Nobody ever asked me anything about it. No, I'm excited for it. This is the Hey Arnold movie, for those of you guys who don't know, is the movie that was originally going to be made back in the 90s, and it was going to be like the end of the series, and it never got produced. It was where Arnold finds his parents. We finally get that answer. And I'm excited that they're making it. And they're having back like everybody they possibly could who can still do those voices. So I can't play Eugene anymore. My voice changed during the production of the show, and they replaced me already. So like I knew I wasn't coming back to do this, but I'm glad it's being made. They're making it look like the show from the 90s too. It's like it really looks like it's going to be an awesome end to the series that never really got an ending. So I'm glad it's happening.
Also, outside of Hey Arnold, did you have any other favorite Nickelodeon shows that were on at that time?
Just to watch?
Yeah.
Sure. Like Aerial Monsters. I liked Rocko's Modern Life.
Yes.
I liked Doug back when it was on Nickelodeon. The Disney Doug, I was a little.
Yeah, they murdered it.
Yeah, but like, I was a '90s kid, so like, if it was on in the '90s, I probably watched it.
Okay.
Cool. Are there any other questions?
Can I ask another question? Okay, so you earlier said that you were interested in Dragon Ball Z. When it went to Texas, was there any consideration for you doing it back then, or?
No.
No.
It was not, because nobody in Texas knows who I am.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
I'm not into the funny guys, the Funimation guys. So no, that's. I mean,
because that was just one of the things you said. He was originally in Canada, so I was wondering.
Yeah, that would have been cool when I went to Texas, but no, I never got to do it, unfortunately.
All right.
But Hey Super's being produced, I'm assuming.
So, that Beerus, or the voice actor, I guess, leaked it on Instagram.
Oh, he did?
He leaked the guy, the English voice actor, leaked the picture, and he deleted it like 30 minutes later. So there's a curiosity on if Funimation has it now.
I mean, like, come on, it's Dragon Ball. It's gotta happen. Like, I don't know why that's a big secret.
I have to know how much fun you had playing Takarada on Kill la Kill. He's my favorite character from that show.
Takarada. So, like, this is one of those things where the English adaptation can vary wildly from the original Japanese. So, in the original Japanese, Takarada is this dude from Osaka, and the idea behind it is the stereotype is that people from Osaka are all obsessed with money. But that doesn't translate over well to an American audience where people aren't maybe familiar with the layout of Japan and various Japanese stereotypes. So Alex Von David, the director and writer, he decided to make his own choice. And he was like, how about if we make him a pimp? We're gonna make him like this dude, and just like basically like a white dude who's trying to be like a hip hop star. So it was just, everything was just really, really wrong about that character, but it all fit the mouth flaps. So it wound up working perfectly. But it was really fun to do. Yeah, I like Takarada. Hey, cool, man.
So I was gonna ask you Instagram over Twitter, but you haven't used your Instagram since like April 13th. Did you just not like it? Or?
I tried Instagram super briefly, and then I was like, why am I doing this? I don't know. I can send pictures on Twitter. I don't care. I'm terrible with like the social networking thing. Like we're supposed to be on that, be like, yeah, promote yourself and all that stuff, and I hate doing that. I use like my Twitter just to bother my friends. I'm a dork. Anybody? Anybody? One more.
All right. My question is what would you say for anyone who wants to get into voice acting, or what do they have to do to get in there?
Does anybody here interested in trying to be a voice actor? Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Advice I would say is you got to ask yourself what you're up to in your life right now, like where you are. There's this weird misconception, which is voice acting is talking into a microphone in different voices, which is like saying being a brain surgeon is cutting open people's heads. It's like, well, okay, yes, but like me with a hacksaw slicing over somebody's head is very different from a professional surgeon who really knows what they're doing. So, are you an actor is the first question. If you're not an actor, take acting lessons. Get good first. For instance, I would assume that most of you guys here are from Buffalo or New York or like fairly local here.
Yeah.
Okay. The easiest place I can think of to get into, let's say anime specifically, is Bang Zoom. Bang Zoom is probably the most open to new talent place that I've ever seen. If you go to Anime Expo, they will have like a whole audition for like just anybody who wants to come in and try to be an anime. You can take classes there with Tony Oliver. He's a professional voice director. I think the classes are like $300, but you get into the studio, and if you're already a good actor, they see it and they go, hey, can we send you some auditions? And that's all really awesome. Problem is, it's in Los Angeles. So in other words, are you willing to move? Can you afford to live in LA? It's really pricey there. So like all of the basic stuff, get all the facts down. Make sure that you understand you have all your ducks in a row before you try something that's life-changing. Because contrary to what a lot of people think, the real voiceover industry is not being at home in a closet with a USB microphone, doing stuff for like a voice bank site like voices.com, like non-union commercials. It involves moving to where the work actually is. So you have to be prepared to do all of that stuff. And then make sure you're competitive. Make sure that whatever you think makes you special really is special. Like I've seen people saying like, oh man, I do this awesome Sean Connery impression. It's like fantastic. Or I do Christopher Walken like nobody else. It's like, dude, literally everybody does those two characters. So like, nobody cares. Nobody's impressed by that. But if you have something that's really, really like unique and special, I know a guy, for instance, he's I think he's about 20 years old. He has an acting background, been doing it since he was 10. But his voice sounds like he's 12. He sounds like a real 12-year-old boy, which is very rare to find a real child actor who sounds amazing and can act. So he gets work like nonstop. But if you don't have that super special quality, what do you bring to the table? Do you have unique voices? Do you have a unique perspective on things? Make sure that you are who you are as opposed to trying to be somebody else. Like if you're the next Bryce Papenbrook, for instance, that's a terrible thing to be because Bryce is already there. He's already working. If they want the Bryce Papenbrook sound, they're going to hire Bryce. They're not going to hire somebody who sounds like him. So make sure that you stand out as your own person. I would say that's basically the best advice I can give. Yes, sir. Austin?
If you could be any mythical creature, what would it be and what would its poop look like?
It would be a dragon because dragons are badass. I don't care if it's cliche. And it would be gold and studded with diamonds because, yeah, that's what it's good. You guys are like, where did Austin come from? He walked in the door. Teleported.
Honestly.
So I think we should probably do the signing stuff now, so that way we are done and Austin can take over. Okay. Yeah.
I'm way early. You still have a ton of time.
Oh, I do? Really? What time is it?
I just felt like crashing the room.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I tell you what. We got like. Anybody has a question? Yes.
Sorry, stand on the side. So what made you do a death gun in Sword Art Online 2?
What made me do Death Gun? I was actually given that role, which is very, very rare. When somebody just says, do this character, but like, yeah, they were just like, let's bring Ben in. Because nobody's going to think that's the guy who's doing Death Gun. He always plays the crazy, weird, like, over-the-top characters. But yeah, that's how I got it. It was just a random, just like, job, like, we want you in Sword Art. What am I playing? You'll find out when you get there. Okay. Yeah, that happens. That's unusual, but good. All right. Let's science stuff. Bring things forward. I believe the line is forming here.
Please, please.